Guys, yes, you can. Over to you.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dianna. I'm from Country Heights. So today I'm going to talk to you about breaking boundaries. I didn't quite understand the topic, so I kind of just go with my own topic. But before we go into this, I would just like to share with you a little bit about the challenges that we're facing, since that's one of the topics that the organizer wants us to talk about. So despite, I guess, the political scenarios that we're facing, the dropping ringgit that we're facing, but one of the biggest challenges that we are facing now as young developers is this. Our boss will be asking, how are you doing on your unspoken objectives? I believe a lot of us experience this. And they're referring to the goals I have in my mind that I have yet to mention to you, and then they expect you to do. Okay, this crowd is a bit serious, I guess. So this is what we're facing with our bosses, particularly my father as well. So to counter this, we really have to do things out of the box, what Dato' Bey have mentioned to you just now. So what I'm talking to you today is about really breaking the boundaries to think outside of the box. So in my most humble opinion, and in contrast, we feel that the most powerful trend today now, it's all in healthcare. If you look at products, you look at IT, you look at hotel, you look at F&B, everybody wants to be associated with their wellness business now. But one of the biggest industries that can really break through the boundary now, we see, is really hospitality. If you look at Westin in 2013, they have launched a new brand called the Evans Hotel, where everything focuses about wellness. They have the spa showers, they have the cyclical lighting in their rooms. Same goes to MGM Grand when they launched their Stay Well room. And when they launch all these, people are accepting it. When they launched the Stay Well room, the occupancy rate raised by 92% in their rates. Because you can see the global wellness industry is a US $2 trillion industry. But property market, we have not been able to tap into that. So that's why we're going to talk about today about breaking boundaries. A lot of people is going into it. Now if you look at the big hotel brands like Wyndham, Marriott, Westin, even Trump is going to Trump Wellness, talking about nourished, organic, vegan, 100% natural. And if you look at the wellness tourism market, it's one of the fastest growing tourism market. It contributes about 439 billion US dollar for the whole world. And out of that, it's growing 10% annually. It's growing faster than any other sorts of tourism. So imagine taking that mindset and plugging into property development. And that's what we want to talk about to you today. If you look at, this is the Malaysian statistic. 1 out of 4 person has high cholesterol. 1 out of 10 person have hypertension. So in our room here, I think we have 200 people. Half of you probably have high cholesterol already. 2 out of 5 is an obesity, and this is a very serious problem that Malaysia is facing. And diabetes, 1 in 7. So imagine you build a residential condo of 400 units. 100 of your resident has high cholesterol. So how is your property going to be good for your resident? So what is fueling this trend of fusing healthcare into property? We can see the increase in the non-communicable disease, and this is what we talk about in terms of cholesterol, in terms of high blood sugar, high blood pressure. You know, 75% of our population is considered sub-health, meaning one way or another, although you feel healthy but you have high cholesterol, you have high blood sugar. I think a lot of people is aware of this, but how are you going to make it relevant to property? That's how I'm going to share with you later. So 85% of this is related to a decline in our own immune system. And do you know our property is contributing to this declination of our immune system? So other than that, what's fueling it is the increase of healthcare costs. As you know now, if you go to a hospital today compared to in 2014, you go to hospital, your bills are 10% higher already, including your insurance premiums. Again, like Dato' Bey mentioned, there's also an increase in aging population. and the increase in information via social media. A lot of people have more information nowadays, so they're just not looking for, again, the bread and butter in the property development, like, just another condo, just another bungalow, just another apartment. They have more choices now. What people is doing in Germany, they're looking at it for it here. What people is doing in Switzerland with the solar power road, they're looking at for it here. But are we keeping up with that as well, with the social media information feeding to our buyers? Second of all is also the increase in our middle and upper class. And all these are fueling the trend of people looking for something different. They're looking for a solution. And for us to achieve this solution, it's not just thinking out of the box anymore. It's really breaking the boundaries of all different types of industry. So today we're talking about breaking the boundaries between real estate and healthcare and creating a building that's actually good for people's health. So how are we going to achieve that? As we all know, property is a very steady market. It grows very steadily in Malaysia. It never goes below replacement cost. Thank God, no, not anytime soon. And healthcare is also a recession-proof market. If you combine both of this together, the convergence is actually a very successful formula if we manage to do it properly. And this is an industry that everybody is rushing into wellness. You look at the boom in all the GM diets, the boom in life juices, healthcare juices, and now even products now are trying to relate it to healthcare. So we have to start to break this boundary as well. So if you look at this, how to become truly healthy, 50% of it is actually contributed by your genes. This is by yourself. Another 50% is by our environment, and property and the community we create here plays the 50% role in how people can become more healthier. So let me give you a more concrete example of what I'm talking about. So this is my own results. This is my genetic testing. So this genetic tests how my body functions towards vitamin D, salt sensitivity, stress sensitivity level. So imagine you have this information of your buyer. This buyer has a tendency of osteoarthritis because the body is only functioning at 33% versus 100%. So then you can help your buyers to choose a unit that maybe you need to walk 10 steps from the lift versus 20 steps of the lift. So these are how examples we can break through by understanding your buyer's healthcare. Another example, for example, let's look at my vitamin D. My body is only functioning 63% to vitamin D. So this helps your buyer to choose, should I choose a corner unit? Should I choose an intermediate unit? Should I have a full-length mirror to allow sun to come in? Should I have just half a mirror to allow sun to come in? So this actually helps with not only the design, not only the material, but also the selection of the unit. So it actually combines the entire understanding of healthcare and property into it. So if you guys are interested to know this about your body, you can go visit our website, healthunited or ghhs.com, or you can actually get a pass from one of my staff there. She's going to raise up her hand, Fina. She's going to give you a complimentary pass for you to understand this about your body. So imagine understanding this of your buyer and thinking your design around it. A lot of people talk about green building. I think that's necessary because building something good for the environment is no longer a phase. We feel that it's a necessary thing because our Mother Earth is deteriorating. But now, how do we build something that's good for your body? So everything you think about is from a healthcare angle rather than an energy saving angle, rather than an eco angle, rather than a cost saving angle. But this is through a healthcare angle. So if you know that you have a buyer who is stress sensitivity level only 43%, so he remits more stress, so please prevent this buyer from being your GMB chairman as well. So this can help you in your further maintenance later on. So this is actually the first home that we have created. This is in Lakeview Residency in Cyberjaya. So this one we use it in the angle of material. So the entire home we infuse with silicate mineral into our building material. So what this does, that it increases negative ions in your house. So the moment you walk into your house, it's like an oxygen chamber. You know why we age and we become tired and we have wrinkles? It's because around us we have too much positive ions, and this makes us tired. So on average, we need about 300 to 400 negative ion per cubic meter to make us healthy and not feel tired. On average here, we get about 30, 40. Now you can understand why you get wrinkle and you're tired. But by infusing this, you actually charge the negative ion in your house to 800. So imagine walking in your house, it's already a therapy for you. So this is what we talk about. Not only building materials, but understanding the health stats of your customers and putting all these together in choosing the right apartment and choosing the right material for yourself and for your buyers. So another project, of course, I have to be here to do some promotion. Another project we have is the Mines Wellness City. This is at the Mines. In case you don't know, we're 15 minutes away from KL City Center and 20 minutes away from Putrajaya. We have two big lakes here. So creating an environment that's conducive for merging this real estate and healthcare together is also very important. Because of the two big lakes that we have there, the Mines is actually 1.5 degrees lower in temperature compared with KL. So this itself serves as a very good platform to fuse both real estate and healthcare together. But to make this work, again, we understand the dilemma in Green Building Index. A lot of people want to do it, it's very good for branding, but cost is always a problem. So to make well building something that is workable, we really need to think about the whole aspect, not just in the building, but the entire food chain. Therefore, in the Mines, we have, I'm going to skip this and come to here. Therefore, in the Mines, we have actually gotten the support of the Ministry of Finance to provide the entire value chain incentive. So if property developers develop, they get 100% tax-free. So property developers can actually take the savings from tax to invest back in better building materials that's actually good for a person's health. And software and platforms and methods that can drive your buyer's healthcare and the choices that make in your unit much better as well. Second of all, we have also obtained 100% tax incentive for MWC managers. So if I have property managers that manage my building, they get 100% tax-free as well. So then these people can also reinvest back in managing a better building and keep on increasing the technology there is according to the healthcare needs today. Other than that, if you're in all these businesses, you are also eligible for 70% tax-free. So now, the building that you're staying is good for your health. The surrounding vendors around you is providing you better options, because if you're in all these businesses like yoga studio, pharmacy, health food, organic food, you get 70% tax-free. So we take care the entire 50% from property to your lifestyle to your retail spending to make sure that you attain 100% of health. And that's how we want to break the boundaries of real estate and healthcare together to build a building that's actually good for your health. So sometimes you don't really know what you need until you really look beyond the boundary. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dianna. Those are very interesting points. You mentioned something about recovering, being young, just by staying in your house could perhaps be a good reason for your wife to just stay at home. Just kidding. Okay,